Now I am going to next number. Now see here, what is the next definition? Whole numbers. So whole number is nothing but a natural number including a 0. So simply I'll not go with the definition. Whole numbers, by word only you have to understand. Whole means 0. 0 is nothing but, whole means what? Always we'll say the whole shape will be a 0, circle shape. So the whole numbers also start from 0. 0 to infinity. If you observe here, there is no negative numbers. Once again I'm telling you, whole numbers mean according to the word only you have to understand that. Easy way to remember. Whole numbers means whole, the word only, the shape is circle. So the numbers also start from 0 to infinity. And if you remove the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that are natural numbers. Then what is the difference between natural and whole numbers? Natural numbers 0 will be not there and whole numbers 0 will be there. But if you observe, there is no negative numbers in the both the number system. Okay. So I told you how we have our names. Natural numbers are denoted with a capital N and the whole numbers denoted with a W. Okay. Now see, starting I told you, number system we have a whole numbers we covered, natural numbers we covered. Like that we have a integers also. These are the types, okay, categories I told you. Whole numbers, natural numbers and integers. After that, rational numbers, irrational numbers, like the real numbers. These are all number systems we are going to see in this. Now the third type is integers. Integers is nothing but, simply I'll say you know the number line, no? 0, positive and negative. Okay, 0, positive and negative. So what is the meaning of this? Infinity will be there. Infinity is nothing but, every time I'm using you infinity, infinity is nothing but it's a endless. Okay, so there is no end for the numbers. So if you observe here, in integers there is a positive positive numbers are there, negative numbers are there with including 0. So integers only will acceptable positive, negative with a 0. So integers is nothing but, it is denoted by Z, and if you observe here, Z equal to -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Just now I explained you. See, negative integers will denote with Z minus. See, I'll show you. Z. Negative integers means you write it minus, where only negative numbers will come. -4, -3, -2, so on. -1, that's it. I told you once again, I'm alerting you. 0 is neither positive, neither negative. After that, if you want positive, Z plus +5, +4, +3, +2, +1. So, from this, what did you understand? Whenever you are talk about the integers or about negative, you have to take on negative numbers. Whenever you will talk about the positive, you have to take up positive numbers, and 0 will be always 0. So, here I have to introduce one point. See, now, few years back, like 4 or 5 years back, the integers are denoted with a capital Z. But before that, don't get confused, children. Before integers, we used to denote it with a I. There is no wrong in that. Now also some people, in some textbooks they are giving or Z. Most of the textbooks having a Z only, but few textbooks they having I. So no need to get confused. So integers always will denote with a capital I or will denote with a capital Z. Over. If you see our Z dash, so Z it's a star mark, non-zero integers. Non-zero means without 0 you have to write integers. Without 0 means we have only single 0. So without 0, -3, -2, -1, 1, 2, 3. So remove the 0, write the other numbers. That's it. That's a non-zero integers. So non-negative integers means what? Non-negative integers means is nothing but take out the negative numbers and other numbers write it. 0, 1, 2, 3, so on infinity. That is, we'll say that whole numbers also. Like that, here if you observe, see, these all are good only. But in the integers, we have two formulas. What are that? That's a general formulas. Whenever we'll see even numbers, see the general form of the even numbers 2n and the general form of this is, it's a odd. Okay. The general form of the even numbers means is 2n. The general form of the odd numbers is 2n plus 1. Ma'am, what is this all? I'll show you example. Okay. See, even numbers formula is 2n and n is belongs to z. Z is nothing but integers. So, now take a n equal to 1. Okay. N equal to 1. Now, even numbers I am checking. After substituting n value, you should get a even number. So, 2n formula, which is 2n, means between what is the symbol will be there? Always multiplication. Write it. 2 into n. Nothing symbol is there between variable and number. Always you have to remember that both are under multiplication. Now, how much value we are having putting here? 1. So, 2 into 1. 2 1 ja 2. So, that is the 2 is a even number. So, like that, that's why they fixed the formula. If you take not only 1, I'll show you one more example, n equal to 2. Okay. Now, see 2n, which is 2 into n. Now, what is your n value? 2 into 2. 2 2 is 4. That's the beauty of the formula. So, no need to check every time. So, simply if they'll ask you to find even numbers for any number, you can use the 2n formula. Now, here odd numbers formula. Now, see. What is the odd number formula? 2n plus 1. Okay. Where now I am substituting n equal to 1. These formulas, after substituting n value, according to the formula, this is odd. You will get an answer also odd number only. So, 2n plus 1, 2 into n plus 1. Okay, we expanded the formula. Now, what is the n here? 1 plus 1. So, you know that BODMAS rule. According to the BODMAS, the first, see, brackets of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So, first we have to go with the division. There is no division in this. After that, multiplication. So, first you have to go with the multiplication. 2 1 ja 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1, 3. So, 3 is also belongs to a integers only. So, like that, that's why they fixed the formulas. Even numbers means 2n. Odd numbers means, this is a printing mistake again, I am telling you. It's a odd numbers. Odd numbers means 2n plus 1. How to find the odd numbers, how to find the even numbers. This is over. Now, what is the next definition? The next definition is the most important concept, which is a fraction. Fraction is nothing but, here see, the part of the whole is called a fraction. For example, there are 4 chocolates you have. Okay. How many chocolates you have? 4. 4 chocolates you have. Okay. From that 4 chocolates, you gave me 2 chocolates. Okay. So, a fraction itself only there is a formula. Okay. How many parts total you have? 4. That always you have to write in the denominator. The upper, how many you use it, that you have to write. Here the fraction formula only, it will be in the P by Q. That is a upper one is numerator, downer one is denominator, will call. So, now come back to the definition. Okay. A fraction is not the number which are in the form of P by Q, and where P and Q are belongs to whole numbers. Guys, children, remember that fraction always be a whole number. We cannot use other number system. We have a natural numbers, we have a integers, we have a many other number systems also, but fraction is always acceptable whole numbers only. From this you have to understand that the fraction always takes a positive numbers. They won't take a negative numbers. So, this is called a P by Q. So, upper one simply I will tell you. Downer one is Downer means denominator. The first letter you remember that. And upper one is numerator. Upper obviously one more option is that is numerator. And downer one, downer means down. So here down is denominator, up is numerator. So no need to get confused. So always again I am telling you, downer one is denominator, upper one is numerator. So that is called a fraction. Fraction always having a numerator and denominator, that is a P by Q form. Where always remember that Q not equal to 0. Ma'am, what is the Q not equal to 0? What is the meaning of that? I will show you. 2 by 0. Anything by 0 it is undefined. Means, ma'am, what is undefined? Undefined is nothing but there is no solution. There is no solution. So, not only 2 by 0, anything by 0, 1 by 0, 3 by 0, 1 lakh by 0 or 15 crores by 0, anything by 0, there is no solution. We can't simplify. That's why simply in mathematically they used that word which is undefined. Okay. So, this is a fraction. Now, I will go with this example. See, example, there are 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you observe, 4 parts, how many parts they used? 1. Used part you have to write it in the numerator. Now here if you see this picture is not clear, but here 8 parts are there according to the answer. So, how many parts they left? 1, 2, 3. That's it. So, they filled with the other parts and they left with the 3 parts. Leftover parts you can write it up. So, like that you can write it according to the question. Here you will ask you can ask me, ma'am, they filled this, no, the question of here is that the second diagram they asked you empty boxes you have to take it as a numerator and filled boxes you have to remove it. 1, 2, 3 I took as a numerator and total parts I took as a denominator. Now the next, so this is the same definition. So see the numbers which are in the form of P by Q, where P comma Q is belongs to, guys see here, belongs to whole numbers. I told you fractions always accepts whole numbers only, not other number system. So Q not equal to 0. So denominator should not be equal to 0. Why? Because again it undefined, means like there is no solution. So ma'am, numerator can be 0, definitely. Numerator you can take it as a 0. 0 by anything is 0. By anything by 0 is undefined. So later, if P comma Q are co-primes, then P by Q is called a simplest form. Ma'am, what is the P comma co-prime? Co-prime is nothing but whenever we will talk it about the co-primes of any number, the number only one and only one factor, common factor if you have, then we can say that both the numbers are co-prime. I will show you, see. 2, 3. Write the factors. 1 2s are 2, 1 3s are 3. When both the numbers having a one only common, so then you can say they're co-prime. Now coming to that, ma'am, why P by Q is a co-prime? I'll write the factors. P by Q means 1 into P, P, Q. 1 into Q, Q. So that is here if you see common factor 1 if you having, if you find one only factor from the both the numbers or variables, then it is called a co-prime. That's why they said that P by Q is a co-prime and that is the simplest form. Last, rational numbers. Simply I will tell you a rational number is nothing but it's same as a fraction only, but rational numbers always accepts the integers. Shall we see the definition? The number which are in the form of P by Q, where P comma Q are integers and Q not equal to 0. Wherever if you take a fraction concept, if you take a rational numbers, Q always not equal to 0, because denominator become a 0 means we will not get the solution. So, are called a rational numbers, it is denoted by capital Q. Rational numbers also denoted with a capital Q. So, what is the, here the question, ma'am, what is the difference between fraction and rational numbers? Nothing. Fraction will take a whole numbers, fraction accepts only whole numbers, and rational numbers accepts integers, means negative numbers also. So, that is the thing. So, here also see, simplest form means P and P comma Q are co-primes. Just now I explained you P by Q is called the simplest form of the rational numbers. So the example here, P by Q, Q equal to 1, put it minus 1 by 1, 0 by 1, 2 by 1, 3 by 1 by 1, 3 by 1 are generated, they are called integers because we use it here. We use it here all integers. See, if you see, negative number we use it, 0 we use it, I told you no, numerator we can take it as a 0 and positives also we use it. So here rational numbers always accepts the integers, but again I am telling you children, denominator should not equal to 0. If the denominator equal to 0, then you will not find any solution. This minor point you have to buy out because positives always positive only. But negative points you have to remember that what is the negative points in this concept. Okay. Later, all integers are rational numbers, but all rational numbers need not to be integers. Yes, of course, all integers rational numbers will accept, but all rational numbers cannot be integers. So, after this, in this rational numbers, final concept, in this rational number we have two types now. Rational number C, terminating decimals and terminating decimals and non-terminating recurring decimals. Ma'am, what is terminating, non-terminating means? Simply see, these all are mathematical words, that's it. But before going to the mathematical, I will show you our regular what we are doing with the numbers. From that I will tell you. 1 divided by 2, okay, you know the division, okay, you know that under division 1 will not come. So, then only they introduced a decimal points. So, starting why I didn't explain you rational numbers, decimal points is there means I will show you one example, according to that you can understand. So, ma'am, rational numbers means is nothing but it will accept normal numbers also, it will get a decimal numbers also. So, I will show you one example. See, 2 table 1 won't come. So, put a decimal point, keep it here 1 0. When you are keeping a decimal point, you can take at a time 1 0. Now, 2 5s are 10. So, subtraction 0 0. So, 0 0 0 minus 0 0. 1 minus 1, if there is a 1, cancel 1, then nothing is there, 0. So, finally you got 0. What is the answer? 0.5. Nothing is there means you can, before decimal point you can take it as a 0. So, here if you observe 1 by 2 0.5. So, that is the difference here. A fraction also, fraction and rational numbers, that is the difference. Our rational numbers you will get a decimal points also. So, based on the decimal points only we have two types of concepts. Now, I am going to the back. What are they? One is terminating decimals, one is non-terminating decimal, non-terminating recurring decimals. I will tell you what is recurring and these all. First I will work out with a decimal. Decimal is nothing but after number there is a point. After number there is a point, that is called a decimal. So, this is a 2.1. So, decimal point is there, this is called a decimal number. Then 2, this is called a number. Whenever you will see the decimal point, that is the number is called a decimal number. Whenever you will see that number, normal number without decimal, that is called a number. Okay. So, I clarified you what is the decimal number and decimal. Now, coming to the terminating decimal and non-terminating. Terminating is nothing but after decimal point that digit should get a close. So, these are all concepts with one example I am going to cover. Guys, 1 by 2, which is just now we did the division 0.5. Okay. Now, see, after decimal point, first you should know that decimal number whenever you have, this is called a integral part. It is called a integral part. This is called, which is called a recurring part. Which is called recurring part. Recurring part is nothing but after decimal point whatever the digits are there, that is recurring point. So, if you observe here, I told you one word. After decimal point whatever are there, that is called digits. Before decimal point, whatever is there, this is called a number. So remember that. For example, 1.3256. This is your final answer. How we are going to read? The reading is very important. Before decimal point number, after decimal point you have to read as a digits. Okay, 21.3256. You cannot take it as a 3256. That is the difference between normal and decimal number. Decimal number having a, whenever you will see the decimal number, before decimal point as usual read as a number, and after decimal point you have to read as a digits, single digits you have to read. How many numbers, how many will be there, that many digits will be there. So this is over. So now ma'am, this completely I told you, now I covered you what is the integral part, what is the recurring part. The integral part before decimal number, that is called a integral part. After decimal number, digits are called a recurring part. Over.